Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today I am going to talk to you about everything that I think you need to know in order to go to Canada this year. Whether you are flying to Canada to embark on a cruise, or if you are visiting Canada as a port stop on a cruise, or if you are departing or stopping at a port in Eastern Canada as well on a cruise, or if you're disembarking in Canada. So let me walk you through everything, and when we're all done, if you have any questions, just ask me. I'm going to walk you through some of the websites that I think are really helpful, as well as what's required. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Also, welcome to everyone who is new. We're glad that you have come across our channel, and I hope that you will stay with us. If there's anyone who hasn't subscribed to our channel yet, we would love it if you would please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and I think that you're going to love being a part of this amazing community. We share so much information, tips, really helpful knowledge to make your cruise experience smoother, make sure that everything goes according to plan, as well as I think it makes our life richer because we have more wonderful friends. So first of all, if you are going to go to Canada this year, you have to fill out and do the ArriveCAN app. It is available on the computer and it is available on your phone, both for iPhones and for Androids. I think honestly I have looked at it on both, and I'm going to walk you through here on the website with it, just on the computer, but on the phone I think is the easiest. It's a little bit easier as you're entering the information, and then when it comes time to upload your documents, because you need to show your vaccination card and you also need your passport, it just accesses the camera on your phone and you just hold it over it, take a picture, and it is uploaded, and it is just that easy. And then if you really can't get that to work, they will allow you to enter the information manually. Okay, so it is really very easy. So you have to do that app within 72 hours of when you are going to arrive in Canada. So if you are at home and you're going to fly up to Canada, you can easily do it at home on your phone or on your computer, however you want. But if you are going to be on a cruise ship, and you'll be there when you hit that 72-hour window, you're going to need to be able to do it just there in your stateroom. And so just take with you your passport, which you would need to take anyway, and your proof of vaccination. And then the other thing that I think is really important to note, when you are filling it out, it is going to ask you what your quarantine plan is, where you will quarantine. Put down the name of the ship. And then somebody also said that they added on that if you are sick, they will disembark you at a U.S. port, because they don't want the cruise lines disembarking sick people with COVID at a Canadian port, just if they're in quarantine. And so just keep that information in mind, okay? That is, everything else is really very straightforward with it. And so let me go ahead here and walk you through it on the computer. So I'm going to put this link, by the way, in the video, in the information box under the video, so that you can easily find it, or you can just Google ArriveCAN, ArriveCAN, and it will take you to the website. So here we are. We're welcome to ArriveCAN, and you go ahead and get started. You click right here, and every time you have to agree to all of this. And so you go ahead and hit next, and I have gone ahead and made myself an account, and so I'll log in here. Right in. Alrighty, so it brings you right here. I just want to quickly point out that this right here at the start button is where you're going to start filling out the form. This is where you can add some extra people. Like, for example, you have no saved travelers. You can go ahead and add, like, my husband and I could be on the same account here. You'd have to just upload everything separately. I personally think, honestly, that to enter and go through customs, it's going to be so much more straightforward. And now, mind you, I haven't done this yet, but I think it would be so much more straightforward to each have your own, because then they're not trying to compare things or look at things. But I would love to hear from anyone who does that here as you come to Canada. But when we get to go, we're going to do ours separately. Some handy dandy resources just answering some questions. If you have anything, then there's your settings. And so back here, we're going to go ahead and start. Right off, it has you say why it is that you're going to visit Canada. We are going to select the discretionary, the optional travel there, because we are going for leisure when you're going on a cruise. And then here it lets you select how you're going to enter. So I'm going to show you, because some people are going to be flying into Canada. And so you go ahead, take note here. And mind you, if you are fully vaccinated, you do not have to have proof of a negative COVID test to go to Canada, okay? So they have you say where you're departing from. So we're putting the United States here. I think it's funny that it doesn't just, there we go, United States of America. And then arrival airport, so it would be Vancouver. And so see how easy it is just to pick things. And then you would hit your airline, your flight number, your date of arrival. Now I do want to point out that if you are here, so I'm doing this late at night on April 16th for April 17th tomorrow. If you select dates that are any further than a 72-hour window, it won't let you move forward. And so I just want to let you know that. So we're going to go back, and I'm going to show you what you do if you're coming by land. So we're going to go back all the way and click on entry by land. I know that we've got Let's Go family members both flying to Vancouver to depart on the cruise, as well as we've got Let's Go family members who are going to be taking that Princess shuttle. They call it a transfer. It's going from the SeaTac airport up to Vancouver. Now, I've had questions about that. I'm going to link the video all about how to schedule a transfer and everything. I'll leave that link in the box below. But I'm going to tell you here that if you want to take that shuttle, you need to call Princess, because the last time I checked, it is not available to schedule online. You just call Princess, you say, I want the transfer from SeaTac to Vancouver, and it's $79 a person each way. It's between 3 and 4 hours just on the bus, and they take you directly from the SeaTac airport up to the port of Vancouver. They take you literally to where you get off and off the bus and go right there to embark on the ship. And so like I said, you book that through Princess. If you're flying into Seattle the night before, you can easily stay at a hotel, come back the next morning, get on the transfer. Please be aware of the times those transfers go. It says they start at 8 in the morning and the last one is at 10 o'clock for these transfers up to the Vancouver airport, and do be early. So that's just a side note. So if you are going to enter by land here, you have to enter your port of entry. And so as you start typing here, you can go ahead and pick. I was going to put Vancouver there, and it selects the highway for you. They want to know where you're going to come in. And then once again, you put in when you're going to enter. I'm just going to go ahead. Like I said, today we'll put the 18th. And we'll just say that we're going to get there at noon so that we can move forward and I can show you just a little bit more of this. I think that as you start working through it, you're going to see that it is really very straightforward. So you can just go ahead and enter your phone number, just like, I'm just doing here, a secondary number, just put that in. And you pick your language, and then you go to next, and then here it lists all of these different documents that you can have. Here we're going to do passport. This is probably a good time for me to remind everyone that if you are on a closed loop cruise, like if you are not flying to Canada, if you're flying to Canada, you need to have a passport. But if you are going to go like round trip out of Seattle, or like San Francisco to Seattle or something, theoretically they say that you can go ahead and sail just with your passport and an enhanced driver's license. Sorry, not your passport, your birth certificate and your enhanced driver's license. But the cruise lines always say to have a passport if you can, because if anything happens and you end up at a hospital in Canada, then there you are without your passport, and that's really not a good situation to be in. And so I would say get a passport, and then you enter your country of issue here. And so let's get that. Oops, did I get that wrong, you guys? There's United States of America right there. And then your passport number, you can just do a whole bunch of numbers here. Okay. I got too many digits. There we are. And then, oh, tap Gordon's name. It just doesn't even matter. So you just put in the date, and then if you're fully vaccinated, you would say yes. That's really funny, it picked up. I must be because I was fiddling around with it the other day. And then you select which vaccine that you got and where you got it. Oops. I don't usually struggle quite so much. And then the first one we got, we'll just put in some days here. And then have you received your second dose? Yes. And that's the same kind of thing. And then once again, the United States of America here. And then 2021. And then you have to put in when you got your second one. And then here is where you're going to upload a photo. And so you can, like, if you don't know how to do it, if you don't have a scanner, just take a picture of your vaccine card and email it to yourself, and then just download it. Then you can just upload it here. That's a really handy way to do it. I have not done that on here yet. I don't want to mess up the account since I'm not going to be coming within 72 hours from now. But as you work through this, I think you're going to find that it is really very straightforward. This just gives you an idea. When you get to the very end of it, you are going to get your digital receipt, and that is what you're going to need to show when you go to Canada. Okay. If I end up getting to go to Canada this summer, I will do it and walk you all through it and put that up as a video. The next thing that is really important to know about when you go to Canada is the testing requirement. Like I said, if you're fully vaccinated and you're traveling to Canada, you don't need to have a test to enter their country. But we all know that you have to be tested to get on a cruise ship. Right now, to embark on a cruise in Canada is 2 days. That is the testing window. You have to do an antigen test within 2 days. If you are doing a PCR test, you can have 3 days, but 2 days for that antigen test. And so if you are embarking on a cruise from other ports in the United States, the rule is that if you're vaccinated, you have 2 days for an antigen test, 3 days for a PCR test. And if you are fully vaccinated and you have the boosters that you are eligible for, you get 3 days for your antigen test and 3 days for your PCR test. Now, before they, it used to be, when they first announced the protocols for Canada, the testing window was 1 day. And when they had that rule, they also said that if you are calling at a port in Canada, no matter which port you're departing from, as long as you're calling in Canada, you need to do that testing within that 1 day window. When they announced the 2 day window, they took that wording out. And so I am not sure if people who are fully vaccinated and have a booster get to have that extra day or not. To err on the side of safety, though, I would plan on doing that antigen test within 2 days. And so we're going to assume that you need to do your test within 2 days. As you prepare to do that, if you are someone that is flying like to Seattle to embark on a cruise, or you're flying to Vancouver to embark on a cruise, and you're just coming in the night before, and then you're going to board the ship the next day, you are fine to do your test at home. And you can do it with the test that you order from Optum or EMED that you do with the healthcare provider on the video call with you, and then you get your results. Or you can do it at whatever lab or Instacare or pharmacy, whatever you like to do at home. You can do that however you want. But if you are going to go to, first of all, let's do Vancouver. If you are going to fly into Vancouver, be there for a few days, and then embark on your cruise, you've got to get a test up there. And so there's a couple of ways to do it. First of all, you can just take with you one of those tests that you order from Optum or from EMED. And I've got the videos here. I'll link them in, I'll put them in the description box underneath this video about how to order those tests on the Princess website. And we've also got them showing my husband doing them on his laptop and doing them on his phone, so that you can watch that, so that you feel a little bit more comfortable with it. I think that's a wonderful opportunity, because then all you have to do is, when you're within that 2 day window, is whether you're staying at a hotel or your family's home, friends, whatever, you can just use the internet and do that test. Another really good option is they have testing at the airport there in Vancouver. Outside of security, they have got 3 testing locations, so there is lots of opportunity behind security for people who are arriving or people for whatever reason, if you want to go through security and get your test done, they have testing available. I know in the International Arrivals Hall they talk about that. So you can do that as you arrive to the country if you want to. But for our purposes, it's really useful to know about the testing that is available outside of security. Let me show you here. This is the one that I thought looked the easiest and the most straightforward. They do take walk-up appointments, they say, but I always think it's handy if you can have an appointment, then it should decrease the amount of time that you have to wait if it happens to be a really busy time. So you just go to this website. Once again, I'll put this link below as well. And you just click right here. You're just going to book yourself a rapid test here at the airport. And our amazing Let's Go family member, Irish in USA, she went ahead and has already booked theirs. And she said that the amount that was charged on their card is like $68 in US dollars is how much it's going to cost. And so right here is where you click, because this is what we want. And notice, like I said, I am doing this on Saturday, the 16th. Look how many testing options are still open. They have lots. And then like you look here at the 17th and you just go through all the days, and notice they start at 5 o'clock and they end up, like the last one is at 8:20 p.m. So you have got lots of times here that you can do. So you would, you just kind of pick a time. Whoops. Well, there you go. I picked April 22nd at 10:35, and then you just enter your information here and pay and schedule your appointment. Then you've got your appointment. You can be anywhere in the city and get an Uber back to the airport, take your test, and be on your way, and you're done. Also, at the Fairmount Hotel, I have just learned they have a testing location there. You do not have to be a guest at the Fairmount Hotel in order to do a test there, and I will put the link for that place below as well. But it is a really handy option. It's even handier if you're staying there, but it's a really handy option that if you're staying somewhere close by, you could walk over and do that test as well. You also, if you live there or you've got family members or friends there, they might be able to tell you a handy pharmacy to go to, and also your hotel concierge might be able to. I'm sure that there are lots of pharmacies that you can get a test, but I just kind of like to know what I'm doing in advance, and so I think this is really good to know. It's also really good to know about this testing at the Vancouver airport. If you are disembarking in Vancouver and either you are on a cruise line that does not do the testing for you to be able to travel home to your home country, to come back to the United States from Canada by air, you need to have a test done within 24 hours. And so this is a really good option as well. Or heaven forbid, if you're on a ship that is supposed to do that testing for you and they run out of tests, it's really handy to know that this is an option. The other thing that I wanted to make sure that everybody knows about this is that, so this is what you have to do basically to arrive in Canada, what Canada requires. Now, I looked at the Air Canada website and they just require that everyone use the Air Canada app. That's what's being required there. Be aware that as you go to other countries, different airlines are going to have different requirements. I think it's really helpful to tell everyone here all about the Verifly app. Here's what it looks like on the Verifly on your computer, but they don't have a Verifly website. They only have the app for your phone. It's really handy. It just shows that you have been vaccinated, and it gives your passport information. It's really handy. So when you go to other countries, it's going to be really easy, much easier to go through customs and get into, and border control to get into their country. I know that I have our amazing Let's Go family member, Irish in USA, told me about how smoothly this worked for her when she was recently traveling internationally. So be aware of that. And then another thing that I want everyone to know about, and this is just to be aware not only to go to Canada, but to other places, but I think it's important enough to mention that some of the airlines are doing their own app. Now, Delta has their Fly Ready, and they don't have an actual app for your phone yet. They only have this website. When I did this, I put in the confirmation number and my name, and it brought up our flight to Rome. and it said that they could not digitally verify our documents and that we had to bring them to the airport and a Delta team member would look at them. And so I just wanted to tell you this. I think it's really helpful to know if you're going to travel internationally at all, you've got to make sure that you are not only meeting the requirements of the country that you're visiting, filling out any forms that they require, but also that you're meeting the requirements that your airline wants you to have, so that when you arrive at the airport, you've got everything ready to be able to board the flight that you're planning on. And so that, I think, is very important. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is testing at SeaTac. Let's do SeaTac. So at the SeaTac airport, they have, they've got several testing locations. I've noticed that there's one out in the parking lot. You can like Google testing at Seattle airport. But the easiest one that I think, and the one that I have seen, is just outside of security in the baggage claim area. In our video that we did last August when we went to Seattle to go on our Alaska cruise, we showed you right where that was, right by the baggage claim, so that you can get an idea for it. I'll put a link below where you can schedule an appointment there. They do close at 6 o'clock, and so if you're on a later flight, be aware of that. But schedule yourself an appointment, or they do take walk-ups. When we were there was a long line of people waiting, but I think that's a really good option if you're someone that is going to be in Seattle for a while and you wanted just a handy option to pop back to the airport and be tested. Also, Sound Mobile Diagnostics, I interviewed the owner of that, and he goes around and tests people. He will come to wherever you are in Seattle. He'll come to your hotel and do your COVID test. He'll meet you at the port and do your COVID test. He'll just go wherever you need him to go. And so that is an amazing, amazing resource there. I also did another video last year about testing places in Seattle, and I'll link that as well below. So I'll link all this information, but there are lots of testing options there in Seattle, and so just be aware of that. But also be aware, if you're just flying up and going to be there the night before, like I said, you can do your test before you leave home. So I've had questions about if there is testing at the Anchorage airport for people who are going to need to test at the Anchorage airport. Testing at the Anchorage airport is all behind security as of December 1st. And so I just wanted to let you know that. I looked at it. There's nowhere to schedule a test that is outside of security. I looked up testing in Anchorage, and like like your Walgreens type places comes up, and a few Instacare type places come up, and so you might want to take a look. It really kind of depends on where you're going to be staying, which one you would want to pick. And I also think that, once again, those tests that you can order from Optum, those I think are just the easiest things, because you don't have to worry about being somewhere at a certain time. You can just do them in your hotel. And so I think that's a really good option. So if anybody has any questions about any of this, just let us know, and I am happy to help you. I really appreciate your support in watching our videos. I am so excited to hear about everyone's travels this summer. I'm excited to hear about them like all the time. But I think this summer holds so much promise, because families, I think, are going to get to travel more, as well as just all of us are going to get to enjoy being out a little bit more. So if you appreciate these videos, would you please give this video a thumbs up? It really helps us out. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.